Hello, it's Lou Collins, and today I'm going to show you how to create the wedding envelope card using the free downloadable template from Craftworld. So you can print this off at home. I've got it printed onto A4 as it is 100%. If you can adapt your printer settings, you could actually print this out a little bit larger as well. Entirely depends on what you want to use it for and what size you'd like. So I have taken this and I've actually printed it off slightly larger size. I've adhered it onto an A4 piece of cardstock and just using a repositionable spray glue there. There is another video on Craftworld showing you how to attach this to your cardstock so that it's then removable and use the template that way. So have a look for that video if this is your first time using our templates. Now I'm going to bring in my scoring board because although I've cut around the edge, I've still got all the score lines to do. And on our templates, all of the cut lines are solid. All of the score lines are going to be dotted lines, and that runs throughout all of our templates. And I'm just going to score over these lines whilst the template is in situ. So whilst the template is still there on my card, I'm just going to run over the lines. Now we've got double score lines here and here. This is just going to allow for the extra thickness, the extra bulk of your template when you come to fold it over. And I'm just going down each of the lines. They may not necessarily line up with your scoreboard, but of course you can easily just shift the template along ever so slightly as you need to be able to line up with yours. There we go. Okay, so I think I've got all my score lines done. Very often if you turn your template over, you'll be able to see whereabouts your score lines are. Just make sure that the tabs are scored. Now I'm going to put my scoreboard to the side. I'm going to remove the template. There we go, nice and clean. And each of these lines I'm going to fold, and I'm just going to secure those score lines there with a bone folder. So just strengthen them and make them sharper by just running that bone folder over. If you don't have a bone folder, some people just use their finger. Some people will use the edge of a ruler, the edge of a pokey tool. There's various tools available. Just be cautious with your double folds, your double score lines here. Don't forget to do both of those. Like I say, this is just almost as if it was the spine of a book, just allowing for a little extra room for you for when you're folding this over the top of your card, which I'll show you in just a moment. So you should have a double fold on one end and then the same on this side too. So be extra careful with those because it's very easy to accidentally fold these so that you're actually folding halfway along one and then sort of jumping into the next score line. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just fold everything up so you can see how it all works. So that's your wallet, that's your envelope. So as you open it up, you can have writing on here, you can have greeting on there, you can have decoration. As you open it again, you've then got your pockets, and these you can pop things like RSPV in there, maybe menu choices, whatever it may be. So you can of course mat and layer onto this, that's entirely your choice. I'm just going to put the main part of the envelope together for you, and then you can go ahead and do any decoration you like. So on the tabs either side, we want to put double-sided tape. So I'm just doing this. If you open this up, what we're actually working with here is not only what you would consider the front of the cardstock, but also the reverse. So you want to ensure that the cardstock you're using has colour or design on both sides, so it's double-sided there. And then the glue for the tabs, if you fold each of the tabs inwards, you're going to glue the tops here. So when you fold them up, those tabs are nicely hidden there. So here's one, just taking that tape off, fold that over, make sure there's no glue or no tape showing, and then the same on this side also, making sure there's no tape showing, making sure that tab is nicely tucked in, and just secure that. And then we've got our tab there that we can pop, or our pockets that we can pop things in before we fold this up and make our little wedding invitation. Now, it's entirely up to you as well how you want to secure this. So I'm going to show you one way of securing it, and there are lots and lots of other ways. The simplest way I find, if you don't want to use something as heavy as a magnet or something as bulky as hook and loop fastening, is to actually add a little bit of string. Now this could be string or it could be ribbon, but you're going to want to make a slot or a hole. I'm going to bring in a tool called a crocodile. I've had this many years, but it's absolutely perfect for adding a nice neat hole in places. So I'm going to open my envelope up and just pop a nice small hole, punch a hole through into the corner of the envelope there. Now, of course, you can build this in whilst you're cutting your envelope, or it may be that you decide later on to add it. But I've got some twine here, so I'm just going to thread my twine through from the underneath of the hole through to the top, because what will happen now is I can wrap this twine around my card, leaving myself plenty of room there for tying a bow or a knot. And as that's wrapped around, let me just tie this into a little bow just so you can see where that's sitting. And there we go, just to fasten that. And of course I would make that smaller later on. I would now apply some glue to the underneath of this string, just so that when you open your card up, this part in particular will remain as it should be. So that will stay on there, and every time you open it and close it, that bit won't be sort of falling back through the hole. So just added a little bit of glue and give that time to dry there. And then of course when you open up your invitation or whatever it may be that this is a new birth announcement perhaps, and you've got details of perhaps the christening, perhaps you've got a photo in there, and then you've got the names of the names of the children or the child. You might have the weight and the details of weight, the height, things like that. Whatever it may be, you've got this option to use this really fun gift card, wedding card, invitation card, whatever you want, and decorate it in your very own way.